How many showings typically before we find a house that somebody wants to put an offer in on? That is a very open-ended answer. There is no real way to tell. I mean, I've had showings where I show one property and we put an offer in, they buy the home and they love it. And I've had 30 showings and we still don't put an offer in on a property. So it really isn't about how many showings, it's about showing the right properties and finding that property when you walk into the front door, you feel like you're at home. That's the most typical answer I can give. How much am I paying attention to the new homes and like the listings being listed every day? I pay attention enough. When I see something that pops up, yes, I do send it to my interested parties. I mean, I'm sure that I should check more often than I do. But usually when I wake up in the morning, after my coffee, I will take a look at what's been listed, what homes have decreased in value. They've done a price drop, what listings have suspended, canceled, expired, things like that. I do check it usually daily. What is the feeling like when I know I've found the house for my buyers that they're gonna love? It's a great feeling, especially when we book the showing, we go and take a look. And they actually do fall in love with the house and they really want to get it. It is a really good feeling. It feels almost like you've completed that journey, almost like a quest, which is kind of what I put each and every buyer or seller into, is kind of like a quest until we find that gold, I guess you can say. But at the same time, it's also a little nerve wracking because, if it's a new listing coming on the market and it's priced right, we don't know if it's going to go into competition or if we're going to get it, or if somebody else might outbid us. We have no idea until the deal is done and firm or we have it accepted. So as much as it is exciting and satisfying, it's also, you get a nervous reaction at the same time. That is when the real work begins. Once you put an offer in on a property, and the wheels start turning, and I got to be in contact with the mortgage broker, the lawyers, home inspectors, depending on the property, septic well inspections, running to the public health to drop off the water samples. That is when the real work begins. Without that process, you're not going to be able to close that property and fulfill due diligence with your buyer. We can look at 20 houses in a day, and that's not the work. The work is finding the property that your buyers feel that they're at home, and then making sure that we can meet our conditions on an offer to be able to waive those conditions and fulfill to be an unconditional offer in order for our buyers to be able to take possession of that property. Until that step is there, the work isn't done. And until you get to that step of putting an offer in, the work hasn't started. Why do you need to use me? Because it sounds so easy, and you think it's expensive. Well, first of all, let's straighten out something. 90% of the time, no, let's actually rephrase that. 99% of the time, as a buying realtor, if you are a buyer, your service is free. Sorry, my service is free to you as a buyer. The seller pays the commission to the buying agent for me to bring the buyer to the home and sell the property. It is not an easy task negotiating with, especially with another realtor. It's not easy getting the job done and making sure that you're comfortable and making it a seamless process through the entire time. But as a buyer, my service is free to you. The seller pays me. So for you to go and use, let's say, a discount brokerage, because you think you might save some money or you might get some cash back, you're not getting the same service that we're offering you. I'm a full service realtor, first of all, working in a full service brokerage. So each and every step of the way, we are connected. We're talking. We're updating each other. I'm finding out different things for you. I'm negotiating, making sure things are falling in place the way they're supposed to. If something comes up, I'm the one hitting the ground running to make sure that is taken care of for you. discount brokerages, they're not doing that for you. Day of closing, they're not following up with you, making sure everything's done. They're not going to be there to help you move when times get tough. They're not going to. They're not the ones calling the other agent, making sure that everything's a go and that their sellers are out of the property and everything's ready to, keys to be exchanged. That is where a full service brokerage comes into place. And on top of that, as a buyer, commission is very seldomly talked about. And before we go and see a property, if commission is going to be a chargeable item, we already talk about that. So everything's on the table beforehand. There's no sneaks, no tricks, no nothing. Everything is explained in plain English well before we arrive to that situation.